Husband has a sore foot. No injury or medical condition that would explain the pain, but he hasn't been able to walk properly for about a week. Being the absolute pain in my ass that he is, he's refused to go to the doctors until today. Apparently he preferred to just pop paracetamol and complain to me. It's gotten progressively more swollen and misshapen looking, and today it's gone a funny color and he can't put any weight on it. So I called our GP, who has sent him to the walk-in clinic at our local hospital. We finally get seen and the doctor refused to even examine it. Told him without even looking at the foot that it was a sprain and he wasn't going to prescribe him any painkillers, so not to ask. Then he started demonstrating some kind of exercises that involved going up and down on tiptoes and flexing the toes. I asked if he would please just look, as it has gone nearly black in some spots and looks similar to how my wrist looked when I broke it a few years ago. He huffed at me and asked where my medical degree was from. It put my back up and I demanded to see another doctor or his senior. I was the asshole here because it wasn't me being treated, so I get he thought I was a pushy cow husband, wouldn't say boo to a goose in medical situations, and would have accepted the doctor's instructions without any questions about actually needing to be examined. Doctor left and we heard him outside the cubicle telling the senior doctor that they have a confrontational spouse who thinks her WebMD searching qualifies her to instruct real doctors how to practice medicine. He also states that he suspects my husband of exaggeration to get opiates. By the time the other doctor arrives, I'm seething and lay out exactly what went on and explained I only want someone to look at the foot before sending us away. He looks. Q X-rays, an MRI, the good painkillers and a walking boot cast thing with potential to need surgery because he's got 7 stress fractures in that foot, probably from running. Admittedly worse than they needed to be because he didn't get any treatment when it first started to hurt. Second doctor and someone from the hospital admin come and apologize for the first doctor and ask if we want to make a formal complaint. So I did, because the outcome of his not listening to the patient or family could have been worse. Husband did not. Husband said later that the first doctor may get sacked because of me complaining and I should have left it because no real harm was done. Was it an move to complain? I don't usually have Karen tendencies, but he was just so patronizing and dismissive, and I kept thinking, what if it was a young mother with a sick baby and he dismissed that not everything would stand their ground and there could be really serious consequences. Edit. Thank you all for the comments and awards. I didn't expect this to go as mental as it did. I've shown hubby the post and he's starting to realize how serious it could have been and is going to email the admin guy we saw this afternoon. He gave us his contact details for my complaint. He's also agreed that delaying treatment the way he did was incredibly stupid and has decided to chase up the counseling referral with the GP so he will be less useless in future medical situations. Thankfully we were eventually given appropriate treatment and hopefully the follow-up will be positive. I'll stick an update on here if there's anything interesting to report. Once again, thanks for setting my mind at ease and sharing your opinions. Next story. My ex-wife Lucy and I have 3 kids, 16F twins and 10M. We divorced 9 years ago after the youngest was born because she came out as lesbian, no hard feelings. I married my now wife Julie 5 years ago after dating for 2, we have 2 kids, 4M and 2F. Julie was a common friend during our marriage, and almost as soon as we started to date, Lucy confessed that she had been in love with my wife for several years now, and since Julie is straight and I formed a life with her, it stained our co-parenting and overall relationship. Now thanks to that, she has made very difficult for me to have my kids during my breaks or in special occasions. If I want to do long holidays with them for a month or so, with some of our days trading, she says no. If I want to have them for my birthday, some random off days or my parents' birthdays, she says no. It's really difficult for me because I truly adore my kids and I want to spend as much time with them as I can. My wife and I have to travel to Europe around June for a month and a half to care for her mother. My plan was to take my kids during this time because her parents own a villa close to a small town that looks, just like my daughters would say, magical and medieval. I've been there twice, for a week or less, as an emergency trip, and it does look like something that would appear in GOT. I know my kids would love it. Julie's mother isn't bedridden, but we have to make sure she's okay at all times. This can mean being at the villa with her teaching us some of their family traditions, or touring the surrounding towns, and with the European train, I can take them to France, Italy, etc. As you can guess, Lucy said no and wasn't willing to discuss it further. I had to tell my kids that I can't take them and that maybe next time. I didn't mention or involve my ex-wife. and they became bad at me. I endured it as much as I could. But when my son asked if I preferred my new family over them and if Julie doesn't like them anymore, it broke me, and I said that I asked their mother if we could trade custody days so they could come with me, and she said no. I explained that it would make me and Julie very happy if they could come, but that we can't go against their mother wishes. She called me yesterday and called me an for turning the kids against them because our son cried with her. She allowed me to take them and threw some passive-aggressive comments. But I'm confused. I don't think I turned them against them. They're confused and hurt, so I said the truth.